As some of you guys know, my son was diagnosed with autism, and so I'm a special needs mom. There was a season in my life where being his mom was really hard. When he struggles with communicating, he becomes very aggressive, violent, impatient, and I was overwhelmed. My husband was overwhelmed. I just didn't know what to do. I was so frustrated at the time. And I went to the Lord and I said, I don't want to be his mom anymore. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And in that moment, the Lord gives me a vision. And in this vision, I see a long line of people. It looked like it could have been millions of people in that line. And he says, you see this line? This is the line that people come on when they're asking for me for children. And the Lord says to me, millions of people every day are asking me for children. And the very child that you don't want is a child that they are willing to take in a heartbeat. And I realized in that moment how ungrateful I was and that my thoughts were ugly. And I felt horrible. I'm crying, I'm weeping, I'm repenting, I'm telling the Lord I'm sorry. Not too long after that night, I ran into this testimony on Instagram where a woman shared how she was begging God for a child for a long time. And then she finally gets pregnant. And while pregnant, she discovers that her child has Down syndrome. And so the doctors are telling her, you have a decision to make. You can keep the child or you can abort the child. And so she goes to the Lord and says, Lord, this is what's going on. What do you want me to do? And the Lord simply told her, you asked me for a child. I gave you one. You don't dictate how this child comes into this world. You can't dictate the worth of a child based on a diagnosis. So the Lord told her, it's up to you. What do you want to keep the blessing I gave you, or do you want to give up on it? And so she decided to keep the blessing. So I say all of this to say, sometimes the very thing that you want to give up on is the very thing that millions of people are begging God for. So allow the Lord to change your heart, shift your perspective, be more grateful. Because in those moments where you're struggling and you're having a hard time about, a child or a certain situation, a certain circumstance, there are people who are begging God for the very thing that you're dealing with. So I just pray that you look at things from a different perspective. Be more grateful for what you have, because there's a lot of people who don't have.